imagine that one of the very first questions we get is, what is this 7-minute thing all about? Well, when I was doing research for my first book on time management, I found an article that said that the average adult has an attention span of just 7 minutes. And I was shocked by that, but I realized that we have so many interruptions and distractions and phone calls and knocks at our door that we just barely can pay attention for any length of time. And if studies have progressed since then, they've said that attention is really one of the key elements of improving your time management. So we do a lot of study on attention and focus. And sometimes you can focus on something for just 2 seconds before you get distracted. And sometimes if you're really in the zone, your attention span may go a little bit longer. But what if you could just focus your full attention on things that matter to you, tasks and projects, for even 7 minutes at a time? Now let me step back for a second and define what we think time management is. We believe that time management is a process of planning. Now, planning, none of us really love to take time to plan, but it means that you have to step back from what activity you want to do and take time to think about exactly how you're going to accomplish that. What is your plan? What's your game plan? What's your roadmap? Part of creating that plan means that you need to have time to think about and clarify the goals that you want to accomplish. What are you going to do? And you need to be able to clearly define when you will have reached and obtained the objective of that goal. The third step is, once you know the goal, you have to create the tasks of each individual project in a correct sequence or order so that you can take advantage of doing them properly and in a timely fashion. We call these tasks high-value activities. And sometimes you can't even do an activity. Sometimes you have to break it down further into even a micro-action. And a micro-action might be send an email, make a phone call, write a letter, draw an engineering draft, create a rough draft. These are micro-actions. And the final step is, once you have planned out what you want to do, and you've established the goals and the outcome, and you've created this sequence of tasks to complete the projects that it takes to complete the goal, then you have to schedule time every day to accomplish each one of those tasks. Now here is what most people do when they have time management. Let's assume that this whiteboard is tomorrow on your schedule, and you look at your day and you're trying to plan out what you'll do. Here's what happens to most people, is that they don't have a plan for tomorrow. Let's just break this in half, and let's just assume that this is their calendar. And what they actually have is a lunch meeting with their staff and maybe a 2 o'clock slot that they've scheduled to work on a budget review. Now, when you open up your smartphone, a lot of times this is what you'll see on your calendar. This is merely a placeholder for a time that you said you would do something. All it is a placeholder at 2 o'clock, a placeholder at lunchtime with some kind of label. But there's no action here. All that your smartphone or calendar does for you is tell you when you need to, or you have said you would, accomplish something. But that's not a very efficient use of time management. If this were truly your whole day, wouldn't it make more sense to have a plan? A plan of action that would take you where you want to go. Because without a plan, let me tell you how your day is going to look. This is what really happens in real life. Is without a plan, you walk into your office and immediately your coworker runs into you and says, oh my gosh, we've got an emergency. And you all of a sudden have to have a document ready by 10:30. So you've got a hard stop at 10:30, and there y'all are. Everybody's powwowing together. Everybody's all together. We're in a rush. Life is urgent, 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 urgent. How many times a week does that happen? And so everything you had mentally thought you might do, or that was on some kind of to-do list in your pocket, doesn't get done. You do go to your staff meeting, but now you're feeling stressed. You get out of the staff meeting and you had a hard time paying attention because of this emergency that went on. And then you realize you've just got a short break before you have to do the budget review, and you just feel completely overwhelmed because you haven't planned for all the pieces that you need to do the budget review. And so by the end of the day, you hop in your car, you fasten your seatbelt, and you feel overwhelmed because you know now you have to do the budget review tomorrow. That's what happens without a plan. Now take it one step farther. I have attention deficit disorder, and so on top of all of this, when I walk into a day without a plan, I have text messages going off and little bitty thoughts that are running through my mind and causing chaos and clutter even in my mind. And if you walk into my office, my desk looks like this. So even if I wanted to do a budget review, I wouldn't know where to find the files. This is how most people live. Let's talk about the 7-minute life daily plan of action. We believe time management is a process of planning. It means you take time to think about what you will do. Truly dig down deep and think about it. And you take that plan, and after you've thought about what you would like to do, you set goals. And those goals become the what you will do. Not the when, which is what most people think time management is about, but what you will do. And you then take that what and you break it down into action steps. And then you take those action steps and you break them down into micro actions that you can actually do. And so now you have a plan, and you sequence these things so that you know what order they need to be accomplished in. And you have them on a single piece of paper so that you can look at this goal and know, hey, if I do these items, if I accomplish these tasks, this goal will be completed. And you can properly sequence it. And then you know the how. How do you do it? What we believe is that if you will choose a mere 5 what we call high value activities every day off of this list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you would choose to prioritize which high value activities you're going to choose to allow in your life, and then you would just make a commitment to accomplish 5 high-value activities a day, can you imagine how different your life would be? We call this living with your 5 before 11. Creating a 5 before 11 list means that you create 5 high-value activities, you put them on your daily progress report, and you focus on accomplishing them from start to finish every day. 5 before 11 has changed my life. And how long do we think it takes to create your 5 before 11 list? We think it takes less than 7 minutes a day. That's where it comes back to 7 minutes. We believe you should take 7 minutes every afternoon with nothing but the 7-minute life daily planner and a pen, and decide what you're going to do to move your plan forward. You understand your goals, you look at the sequencing of the tasks, and you take tasks off this list into the how you're going to do them, and then you move those 5 tasks onto your calendar. Then and only then are they allowed onto your daily calendar. If something is important and is going to move you forward, then you leave it in your life. If it is not going to move you forward, you do not let it into your life. That is the secret to this 7-minute life. Narrow your focus, narrow your scope, and focus on accomplishing not only the plan, but the goals, the execution, and then finally, day by day, doing what you said you would do. The secret to the 7-minute life is not starting a task and getting it partway done. It's breaking down tasks into elements that you can start and complete one at a time. Now, there may be days that you can only do one task and start it and finish it. But what we see happen to so many people is that they start a task and get it just partway through, and then they start another task and they just get it barely through, and they look at this task and put it back in their item, and they never even get to these two tasks. And so what happens is that their to-do list gets larger and larger and larger, and they never get that sense of accomplishment, that wonderful feeling of getting this marked off your list, and this marked off your list, and this marked off your list, and this. Imagine how you would feel if you accomplished 5 things every day for the next 90 days. You would accomplish 450 high-value activities in just the next 90 days. This is the power of time management. Welcome to the 7-Minute Life. For more information, please visit our website. We're glad you were here.